comic book fans, welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. So let's get right to the pick of the week because I'm so excited because it coincides with an event that happened earlier this week. The pick of the week from Dark Horse, we have Hellboy in Mexico, written by Mike Mignola and art by Richard Corben. Now, these two have worked together on the past before on like The Crooked Man and other titles, and they just go together like two peas in a pod. Like, as much as I love and adore Mignola's original, his own art on the Hellboy series, Richard Corben, he does a fantastic job, in my opinion, of just pinning down Hellboy and that just the whole tone of that universe. We have Hellboy and Abe Sapien seeking shelter in this desert, and they go into this like little church, and there's all these pictures of lucha libres, which are Mexican wrestlers, like the masked ones. And then Abe notices in the corner there's this one picture of Hellboy and these three different lucha libres, and he asks about it, and then we get a whole tale of what happened back in the 50s down in Mexico, how there's this demon going around, and while Hellboy was down there, he ran into these three lucha libres. They're all brothers, and they were fighting, going around the whole country fighting. Then they got a message, a sign from God, that big evil is coming, and they should all vanquish it together. And so Hellboy joins them. By day, they're slaying zombies and vampires. By night, they're partying it up. Unfortunately, one of the brothers gets kidnapped, and he becomes this zombified vampire creature. And at the end, Hellboy has to go and fight him in the ring. So it was very fun. It was a fun Hellboy story, out of continuity, and that's what I kind of love sometimes. It's just, you don't have to worry about, wait, but this didn't happen then. Oh, where are the Nazis? It's just good, clean, Dark Horse Hellboy fun. $3.50, do yourself a favor and pick this one shot up. Now on to the Fast Five. First up from Vertigo, we have iZombie #1. Now this issue, first of all, is only $1. I'm loving this Vertigo dollar for the first issue series. You have it by Chris Robertson and Mike Allred. Mike Allred of, X-Force, Mad Men, all this other great stuff. We follow Gwen Dillon. She's a zombie. She works at a funeral home as burying the bodies. And once a month, she needs to eat a brain in order to keep her nice complexion. And when she does eat the brain, she gets the memories of that person's past. And sometimes they need to be avenged, or they were murdered, and she has to go right that wrong. And we get introduced to vampires playing paintball. Her best friend is a ghost. And the boy who has a crush on her is actually a were-terrier. So it's just good, clean fun. Well, not clean. It's good fun. It's promising, looking promising, looking promising, looking promising. Go check it out. It's only $1. What do you have to lose? Next up from DC, we have Batman and Robin #12. Now, Andy Clark continues on board with Grant Morrison's run. We have Batman versus Robin because Slade, thanks to Talia al Ghul, has taken control of Damian because of the whole new backbone they put into him. And he's trying to kill Dick Grayson, and Grayson figures this out, sends feedback stopping Slade, and then they go have a chat with Talia afterwards. And Talia says, now you're dead to me, you're an enemy of the House of Al Ghul. And Robin goes, I hope I become a good enemy, mother. And then, meanwhile, back at the grounds, they notice that the whole floor plan in the underground tunnels of Wayne Manor forms a gigantic ancient bat signal, maybe more signs that Bruce is stuck in the past. And then at the end, we discover the identity of Oberon Sexton. He is not Bruce Wayne, as a lot of people thought. Spoiler alert, he is the Joker, and it makes sense. And because it makes sense, it's that much creepier. Good stuff, go check it out. Next up from Vertigo, we have Demo Volume 2, #4. This issue is entitled Water Breather, and these issues keep getting better and better. Like, the first one was like, oh, hands down great. Second, okay, better than the first. Third, better than the second. This one takes the cake so far. Becky Cloonan's artwork on this is just fantastically gorgeous, especially in this medium, in this story, because we have this kid who, when he's has an adrenaline rush, he can breathe underwater. And there's some bullies at the summer camp way back when that pushed him underwater, didn't come back up, freaked him out, and then he kind of got his revenge at the end, and unfortunately the kid's drowned. But it was just a great tale. It makes you think. It's pretty much, if you want to know what Demo's like, it's kind of like Heroes without the sucky. It's people getting these powers, doing whatever they want to do with it, or interesting situations. Great stuff. This issue in particular was a keeper, let me tell you. Next up from DC, we have Brightest Day #1. We got a nice little couple of events going on in this one particular issue. We have the White Lantern is like the sword in the stone, where no one can take, pick up the White Lantern and claim it as their own. So now the search is on, as it were, of who's the one who can hold on to the White Lantern. And also, Aquaman's back. He's working with Mera. Only the people here he's summoning, not the Sea Life, the dead Sea Life. And it's kind of creepy because it's like, what the fuck, Arthur? What the hell's the matter with you? And since Aquaman's back, another villain is back too, because he sees the return of Aquaman and goes, well, I guess it's time to come out of retirement. And that is Black Manta. And it's a good little comeback into the suit and everything. And then finally, we find out that the firestorms, they cannot separate, and Dr. Sign and Ray Palmer are going to tell them why next issue. Great stuff. Good way to kick off a new series. I'm looking forward to it. In Johns and Tomasi, we trust. And finally this week from Vertigo, we have House of Mystery #25. The thing I really enjoyed about this issue was you have literally several different writers on this issue, and it starts off. Matthew Sturgis explains at the end of the comic that there used to be this one tradition where someone would start a story, then hand it off to a writer. The writer would expand on it, etc. And you see where it goes. Sometimes you'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting," or "Wow, that all came together perfectly." And he goes into detail on how much Bill Willingham, the first writer, is just a total dick and asshole and a very evil person for killing off the main character and making everyone just right into a corner and like, oh, well, how are we going to get out of this one? But it's very interesting to see how they do so, how every little writer brings their own little unique perspective on the story. And at the end, it's just Matt Sturgis wrapping it all up in a nice little bow, a very, very comical bow. And the art throughout the entire series is by Luca Rossi, and it is just gorgeous. So, if you're not a fan of the House of Mystery or don't know where to start, this would be an interesting jumping on point. You might not know what's going on, but you'd still be able to appreciate what was put into that particular issue. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week for Cammy's Comic Corner. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, head on over to www.cammyscomiccorner.com. From there you can subscribe to us on the RSS feed, on the iTunes, go chat on the forums, etc. Also, if you like any of the kick-ass t-shirts that you usually see me wearing, head on over to deadlinegraphics.net. The deal for May is buy one t-shirt, get the second one half off. With all those comic book t-shirts and custom-made t-shirts, I would take advantage of that deal ASAP. There's only one name that I trust when it comes to comic book t-shirts. That is Kelly at deadlinegraphics.net. And also, if you like any manga, comics, collectible toys imported straight from Japan, want to know where you can find them? Well, I had a Rising Sun Creations at rsc-online.com, of course. They specialize in all that I just said, manga, comics, collectible toys imported straight from Japan. And it's all conveniently located at one store in Mission Valley if you're in the San Diego area, or online, another online store at rsc-online.com. Huge thanks for being a sponsor of the show. This week was quite the packed week for additional episodes. I have 2 new Geeky Talkies for you. One debuting today on Mother's Day, and it's talking with my own mother. Second is an hour long. I know some people might skip over it. Hour long. It's a D&D match. Me and my D&D crew, Dungeons and Dragons, playing. It's like 6 hours total, but I'm going to be like releasing these episodes once a month or something insane like that. And then you also have an Iron Man 2 review that was also earlier this week. So if that doesn't keep you happy, then what are you trying to do? Kill me? This has been Cammy's Comic Corner. I have been your host, Cammy. I'm off to do stuff now. What it is, I cannot say.